Earlier this month, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his communications with Russian government officials. And the question since then has been, will Donald Trump, who has been over the past year incredibly, even perhaps suspiciously protective of Michael Flynn, will Donald Trump pardon Michael Flynn? Now today, the press asked Donald Trump about this, and here is what he said.
About Michael Flynn, would you consider a pardon for Michael Flynn?
I don't want to talk about pardons for Michael Flynn yet. We'll see what happens. Let's see. I can say this. When you look at what's gone on with the FBI and with the Justice Department, people are very, very angry.
I love people seem to always agree with him when he references them. It's odd.
You know, and it came out today, Sebastian Gorka said that very few members of his cabinet agreed on moving the embassy in Jerusalem. Yeah. So even people don't agree, even when he says people agree.
Polls came out today. I think 63% of the country believed that his campaign had illegal contact with Russia during the campaign. Now you can say that they've been misinformed or whatever, but it is simply not the case that everybody agrees with him. The FBI is historically mismanaged right now.
It's what you say too when things are closing in on you too. It's when you're a child you say, oh, but you know, Jimmy did it too, and so did Stephen, so did Don. You know, it's the same thing, and it keeps closing in.
So I just want to be absolutely clear. I don't know if this petition gets to 1 million, 10 million, or 100 million, it'll make a difference. But whatever we can do, okay? If he pardons anyone related to the Russia investigation, he should be impeached that afternoon.
Yes.
There's that is
mass demonstrations.
There should be no question about it. So we did this petition a while back, and let's keep it going. It's called it's at tytnetwork.com/pardon. Okay, if Donald Trump pardons anyone from his campaign or administration involved in the Russia investigation, he should be impeached immediately.
I would add, or fires Mueller. Or fires Rod Rosenstein so that Mueller is then fired.
Yeah, and we might have a different one on that. Okay. But look, number one, most importantly, tell your congressmen and your senators to sign this petition, okay? And tell them you signed the petition, send it to them. Do whatever you gotta do, or do it in a way that you're comfortable with. But the main thing here is going to be, unfortunately, Republicans in Congress. No, actually, that's only a little true. Every Democrat should go for immediate impeachment, but I'm not positive they're going to.
Well, a lot of Democrats right now are signing. Today, Carol Shea Porter of New Hampshire signed on to Steve Cohen's impeachment articles, 5 articles of impeachment. Also did it with Al Green. Democrats are coming forward, even though the leadership doesn't yet want them to.
And I think we all need to be clear, both as individuals and especially members of the media, what the red line is on this. It's both the pardons and it's also firing Mueller. Because if we care, not just about this particular issue, but if we care about ever having any accountability over what the president does, then this has to be the red line. If you surrender on this, if you allow him to get away with this, to do clear obstruction of justice, then you will never have an untainted investigation of presidential corruption, illegal acts, any of that from then on. Because we will have made clear as a country that we are okay with that. If it's our guy, or if we like him, or if we don't really care about the issue, then he can shut down any investigation no matter how terrible the acts are.
Yeah, and so there's 2 layers to this. First of all, you can't let Trump get away with it because he's just saying, I'm above the law. And if he's pardoning these guys in circumventing justice and obstructing justice, what the hell is he covering up? That means he definitely did it, which we know, but that's okay. It proves it beyond any reasonable doubt. And God knows what he promised Putin, and God knows what Putin's got over him. We can't have an American president reporting to a leader of a different country.
He spoke favorably about Putin in that press conference we were just watching.
And if you're a conservative and you let our leader be controlled by some other country's leader, you're not a conservative. You're just a cuck. You're just a pathetic beta male who says, oh yeah, okay, the dear leader says it and I have no mind of my own. You're a weasel, that's what you are. You're a conservative is supposed to stand up for freedom, America, our Constitution, rule of law, and you'd be shredding that. But most importantly, putting Trump aside, the second part is more important than what John just referred to. If we let any president say, I'm gonna end any investigation of me, then we don't have a functioning democracy anymore.
We have a king.
If Bill Clinton fired Ken Starr, that would have been ridiculous.
That would have been outrageous. That would have been an immediate impeachable offense.
But when Richard Nixon fired Archibald Cox, that was the beginning of the end of the Nixon presidency, because then Republicans said this is too much. They didn't have social media, and it still worked out that way. So there has to be.
But on the other hand, that was before money flooded into politics. And remember, Nixon also passed the EPA and OSHA, et cetera, because progressives were really, really strong back then. So now the real question is, those Republicans, again, the Democrats, if you don't have the courage for this, and to be fair to the Democratic leadership, which I'm not often fair to, okay, it's one thing to hold your powder, keep your powder dry now. But if he does the pardons,
right.
Well, then that's what you kept the powder dry for.
Right.
And you should marshal every single Democrat in the House and the Senate to demand impeachment within 24 hours, okay? To start the proceedings within 24 hours. Now, if on the Republican side, they're gonna have to figure out what the hell they're gonna do with their 35% base. Because right now, Trump is around 35%.
It was 51-36, by the way, the generic congressional ballot the other day, in the same poll that showed the president, I think, at 32%. So.
Yeah, that one was Real Clear Politics, average of polls around 37. So a ballpark of about, mid-30s, right? So those mid-30s, they don't care. Let's just call it as at least 25%, let alone the 35% overall. If they found out Trump is literally serving Putin. He reports to him.
We've got the PP tape.
He's got the goals. He says, okay, here's all the American interests I sold out to Russia. Are you happy with me, boss? 25% of Americans would still say, yes, Donald Trump, yes, because they're authoritarian by nature. They believe to bow down to a higher figure, and so and that is the Republican base. So Republican politicians are going to have to decide country or politics. And if they hold and they say, nope, we're the majority, we're gonna let Trump end the investigation, we're gonna shred the rule of law, and we don't care because we don't want to anger our base, well, then we have a massive constitutional crisis. And then Russia will have succeeded beyond its wildest dreams. Because remember, the original point wasn't necessarily to get Trump elected, it was to cause chaos. And boy, would we have chaos if a president says, I don't care about the law, I will never apply the law. And then one party says you need to apply the law, another party says, nope, we just threw away the Constitution. You just watched the video by the Young Turks, home of the revolution. If you'd like to get a lot more than that, get the full show by becoming a member. tytnetwork.com/join.